Hello, everybody. I'm Brodie-Andrew Mulligan. First of all, thanks, Howie and Angela. It's nice to see you guys. And thank you very much for all of the work you're doing. It's a tough fight out there for you guys, as it is here in Texas for us. And we're really stoked to have our candidates on. And I would associate myself also with the remarks that Howie made at the top of this broadcast about the passing of RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Hope she rests in power. But about myself, I'm a music educator in Texas. And I've taught in Texas public schools for about 8 or 9 years. In addition to that, what I would like to bring to the office most closely align, ironically, as fate would have it, with the effects of the coronavirus pandemic. Having taught for 7 to 9 years in public school, you kind of get a fix on some of the issues that are important to people. And as an educator, when we look at who we're going to send down to Austin to fix some of the issues that we have, and there are many, sending a teacher who's actually taught in a public school in different economic circumstances kind of makes sense to me. I think I might know a little bit about ways we can improve our education system. One of the biggest things is making sure that we're looking at a fair funding formula. And when we talk about things that I absolutely support in our party values, like the BLM movement, gender equality, racial equality, social justice, economic justice, finding new ways of funding our schools so we're not having poor schools in poor communities due to lack of resources is something that the state legislator can absolutely take on and tackle. But also from a public health perspective, I have a DMAT certification as a disaster medical assistance team response member. I've actually worked for the Tarrant County Public Health Department in vaccination distribution during H1N1. I know exactly what responses are needed to take economically as well as institutionally and infrastructure-wise to make sure that we can get our state back to a safe and reasonable way. And so some of the things that I would like to bring to the party as well, and also the platform, is to make sure that we're providing economic stability, not just for our voters and our residents, but also as someone who's been working with abolish ICE out of Tarrant. Getting ICE out of our communities is a huge priority for me. The only ICE that I acknowledge is a kind that goes in a drink. And making sure that we also use our state legislative resources, like our rainy day fund, to help out our Hispanic communities, those communities that have been left behind that didn't get federal assistance, and make sure that we have our schools funded, our teachers safe, and institute immediate oversight of police and reform are all very important issues. And so in my district, it's a tough fight. But what we find here is that we've got a very strong level of support among our county party, and people are very enthused to be able to have the option to vote for such a progressive platform. And it's exciting and energizing to see that, I had a supporter who messaged me and they said, I thought that I was the only person out there in the whole county, right, who believes in these ideas. And then you start to see like, hey, there's someone out there like Howie and like Angela that have been fighting for these issues, that believe in them, that it's not just something that's a hobby. It's not something that is in passing, but it's sort of what is in your heart, where your values are, and putting that to action and making sure that when I get in, and one of the goals that we push is making sure that also we can, at the state level, get ranked choice or preferential or another system of voting so that we can have diversity of candidates. So we're not stuck in the two-party system, which has failed so many people and drove people away from participating in our democracy, and give candidates a fair shake. So those are some of the things that I'd love to see in our state, and I'd love to see and bring to our district.
But I love the breadth of issues that Greens are always mindful of, and so that's awesome, Brodie. And I hope you don't mind if I brag on you and one of our other candidates, Hal Ridley, just a little bit. We talked at the beginning about this uncertainty about the filing fee, and it's really clear what a barrier to candidate filing this was, because half a dozen of our candidates, the fee would have prevented them from being candidates. But Brodie and Hal are two candidates who, bit the bullet and scraped together, you know, to pay these exorbitant fees. And so, you know, so I just really salute our Green candidates who are in it to bear the flag forward one way or the other, and you know, keep pushing for our party.